Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are really happy to see you here again, and today we are going to practice English together in a very natural and simple way.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today, and before we start our conversation we want to tell you that this video is specially designed for English speaking, listening, reading, and pronunciation practice.
If you practice with us every day and listen carefully to these conversations, slowly your brain will start understanding how English sentences are formed and how people actually speak in real life.
Many learners think they need difficult grammar to speak English, but the truth is that the best way to improve is by listening to natural conversations again and again.
So just relax, listen carefully, and repeat the sentences with us, because this simple habit can help you improve your English much faster than you think.
If you practice only 10 minutes every day with us, you will slowly start noticing that you can understand more and speak more confidently.
This is exactly how people learn languages, by listening, copying, and speaking naturally just like in real conversations.
So practice with us every day, stay consistent, and you will definitely see the difference in your English speaking ability.
If you enjoy learning English this way, make sure you subscribe to this channel and join our daily practice sessions.
Alright everyone, now let's begin our conversation for today.
Miley, today I was remembering something very interesting from the past, and it suddenly reminded me of my very first day at college.
Oh really, Mike, the first day at college is always a special memory, because it is the beginning of a completely new chapter in life.
Exactly, I still remember waking up early that morning, feeling both excited and nervous at the same time because everything was going to be new for me.
I can totally understand that feeling, because when I had my first day at college I also felt a mix of excitement, curiosity, and a little bit of fear.
For me, the biggest worry was that I did not know anyone there, and I was thinking about how I would make new friends in a completely new environment.
That is a very common feeling, because when we enter a new place we always wonder whether people will be friendly or whether we will feel comfortable.
When I reached the college campus for the first time, I remember looking at the huge building and thinking that it looked much bigger than my school.
Yes, college campuses usually feel very large and sometimes even a little confusing when you visit them for the first time.
I walked slowly through the main gate and I saw many students standing in small groups, talking, laughing, and looking very confident.
And at that moment you probably felt a little shy or nervous, because everyone else seemed to already know what they were doing.
Exactly, I was holding my bag tightly and looking around carefully because I was trying to find my classroom.
Did you ask someone for directions or did you try to find it on your own?
At first I tried to find it myself because I felt a little shy about asking someone, but after a few minutes I realized I was completely lost.
That sounds like something that happens to many students on their first day, because new places can be confusing at the beginning.
Finally, I gathered some courage and asked a senior student where my classroom was located.
And hopefully that senior student was kind enough to help you.
Yes, thankfully he smiled and explained the directions very clearly, and that small moment made me feel much more relaxed.
Sometimes a simple act of kindness from a stranger can immediately make us feel comfortable in a new place.
When I finally reached my classroom, I noticed that many students were already sitting there and talking with each other.
That moment is always interesting because everyone is secretly looking around and trying to understand who might become their new friends.
I quietly chose a seat near the middle of the classroom because I did not want to sit too far in the front or too far in the back.
That sounds like a very strategic decision, because the middle seat is usually the safest place on the first day.
After a few minutes, a student sitting next to me smiled and asked me if this was also my first day at the college.
That must have been the beginning of your first college friendship.
Yes, exactly. We started talking and realized that we had many similar interests, including music and movies.
It is funny how friendships sometimes begin with very simple conversations like that.
Soon our teacher entered the classroom and everyone suddenly became quiet and attentive.
I still remember that moment on my first day too, because the first lecture always feels very serious.
The teacher introduced himself and welcomed all the new students warmly, which made the atmosphere much more comfortable.
A friendly teacher can really help students feel relaxed on their first day.
Then the teacher asked each student to stand up, introduce themselves, and talk a little about their interests.
That must have been a little scary because speaking in front of a class full of strangers is not always easy.
Yes, I was definitely nervous when my turn came, but I tried to speak clearly and confidently.
And after you finished speaking, you probably felt proud of yourself.
Yes, I felt relieved and happy because I had successfully introduced myself to the whole class.
Moments like that help build confidence slowly.
By the time the lecture finished, I had already talked to a few classmates and started feeling much more comfortable.
That is usually how the first day goes, starting with nervousness and ending with a little excitement.
After the class ended, a group of us decided to explore the campus together.
Exploring the campus with new friends is one of the most enjoyable parts of the first day.
We walked around the library, the cafeteria, and the sports ground while sharing stories about our schools and hobbies.
Those conversations help people connect and understand each other better.
By the end of the day, I realized that my fear in the morning had completely disappeared.
And that is the beautiful thing about new experiences. They often feel scary at first but become exciting once we go through them.
When I went home that evening, I told my family about everything that happened during my first day.
I am sure they were happy to hear that your first day went well.
Yes, they were very happy and they encouraged me to enjoy my college journey.
Looking back now, that first day was really the beginning of many wonderful memories.
Absolutely, because college is not just about studying but also about friendships, experiences, and personal growth.
And sometimes the smallest moments from the first day become the memories we cherish the most.
That is very true, and even today I smile when I think about that nervous but exciting first day.
So Mike, after you explored the campus with your new classmates, what happened next? Because the first day usually has many small but memorable moments.
Yes, after we walked around the campus for some time, we decided to sit in the college cafeteria, because everyone was a little tired and also curious to see what the food there was like.
The cafeteria is always one of the most interesting places in college, because that is where students talk freely, laugh together, and slowly become good friends.
Exactly, when we entered the cafeteria it was full of students. Some were eating lunch, some were studying, and some were simply enjoying conversations with their friends.
That kind of environment makes college feel very lively and energetic compared to school.
I remember standing in line to buy some snacks, and while waiting I started talking with another student who was also new to the college.
It seems like your first day was full of opportunities to meet new people and start conversations.
Yes, and slowly I started feeling more confident because I realized that almost everyone there was experiencing the same nervous excitement as me.
That is a very important realization, because sometimes we think we are the only ones feeling nervous, but actually many people feel the same way.
After we got our food, we sat together at a large table and began sharing stories about where we came from and why we chose this college.
Those conversations are usually very interesting because everyone has a different background and a different dream for the future.
One student talked about how he moved from another city just to study there, and another student said she always dreamed of studying in that college.
Hearing those stories must have made the moment feel even more special.
Yes, it did, because I realized that everyone there had worked hard to reach that stage in their life.
That feeling of starting a new journey together can create a strong bond between classmates.
After lunch, we decided to explore the library, because we had heard that the college library was very large and full of useful resources.
Libraries in colleges can be very impressive, especially when you see rows and rows of books on different subjects.
When I walked inside the library, I was amazed by how quiet and peaceful the environment was compared to the busy cafeteria.
That contrast is very common, because the library is usually the calmest place on campus.
I remember looking at the tall shelves filled with books and thinking that there was so much knowledge waiting to be explored.
That must have been an inspiring moment, because education is really about discovering new ideas and learning new perspectives.
Yes, and it made me feel motivated to study seriously and make the most of my time at college.
Motivation is something many students feel on the first day, because everything feels fresh and full of possibilities.
After visiting the library, we walked towards the sports ground, where many students were already playing football and cricket.
Sports areas are great places to relax and also meet students from other classes.
Watching those students play reminded me that college life is not only about studying but also about enjoying activities and staying active.
That balance between studies and fun is what makes college life memorable.
As the afternoon slowly turned into evening, the campus started becoming quieter and many students began leaving for home.
That moment usually makes you realize that the first day is almost over.
Yes, and when I stood near the college gate before leaving, I looked around one more time at the campus.
What were you thinking at that moment?
I was thinking about how nervous I felt in the morning and how different I felt now after spending the whole day there.
So your nervousness had completely turned into excitement.
Exactly, instead of feeling scared, I started feeling excited about all the new experiences that were waiting for me in the coming days.
That is a beautiful transformation that many students experience on their first day at college.
On my way home, I kept thinking about the people I met, the places I saw, and the conversations I had.
Those memories probably stayed with you for a long time.
Yes, even today I can clearly remember many small details from that day.
That shows how important the first day can be in shaping our memories of college life.